It's Christmas time. Oh, hello, everybody. It's me, Chris Smith, and happy day after the Tonys. Oh, it's always such an exciting build-up, and then when you get to the day after the Tonys, you still have that euphoric feel, but there's also a bit of a letdown, too. Isn't there, Blackie? Come here, Blackie. Say hello to the people. Look, it's such a struggle to get him to appear on camera. Oh, I love you. Now, Blackie Humphrey watched the whole Tonys with me, and he was very happy with maybe Happy Ending winning, and so was I. And look, today to celebrate, I wore my Maybe Happy Ending shirt, starring Darren Criss and Helen J. Shin. They won 6 awards, including Best Musical, Best Performance by a Lead Actor in a Musical for Darren Criss, Best Scenic Design, Best Book, and Best Score, both for Hugh Park and Will Aronson, and of course Best Director for Michael Arden. Oh, they all seem like such a nice bunch of people. Well, I do work with nice people when I work, but why can't I find composers that actually write music? I'll let you know if full music is done on my new show. We've got some songs, it's true. I shouldn't talk about things. I didn't mention any names or the show, but I have a composer curse. That's why I still haven't been at the Tonys, and all I want to be is nominated. I don't even care about winning. So look, I don't think I showed these to you before, but when I was in New York, of course, The Beautiful Dead Outlaw, they had 7 nominations, 0 wins, so that's got to be disappointing. Smash, 2 nominations, no wins. That's devastating for them. I don't think they were expecting it. Death Becomes Her, 10 nominations, no wins. It's always so disappointing. Oh, and speaking of Death Becomes Her, and I knew I would do this. I do it every time I forget. But when I was showing you the cast in the playbill the last time, I showed you this page, and then I neglected to show you the rest of the cast, and I felt terrible about it, but I was like, I am not doing that video again. But here they are. Here's the rest of the cast in the playbill for Death Becomes Her. And now this show, it doesn't need any Tony Awards. It has critical praise. It has full houses. The gays seem to love it. Talk about that song for the gays, G-A-Z-E. The gays, G-A-Y-S, were all there in full force the night that I saw it on Broadway. And of course others too, of all orientations, but lots of gay people. And also for Oh Mary, when I got to Death Becomes Her, and I said, I haven't seen so many gay men since Oh Mary's audience, which was the show I saw like 2 hours before that. Of course, Real Women Have Curves, the musical. They performed at the Tonys. Very good song. I think it has a really good score, but no wins. What did they have? 2 nominations? Sunset Boulevard, they did very well, didn't they? And we've talked about this before. they had money because they have, well, I think it was the Great Gatsby video I made the last time, and I said, oh, they have money because they could do a fold out, and so does Sunset Boulevard. And Nicole Scherzinger won for best performance by a leading actress in a musical. So good for her. You know, it's fine. There was a time where we were all a little hurt because Nicole had liked that picture of the MAGA hat, something like that. I had a friend who wrote to me after the show, and he was not happy that Nicole had won, and he mentioned something about MAGA. I miss the days when we didn't know what people's political affiliation was, but yeah, I'm hoping that she learned. I mean, she came back from it. It seemed for a while that Audra would win, and not just because of Audra's wonderful performance, but because of Nicole's, sort of shooting herself in the foot with some of her audience with that. But they seem to have bounded back from it, so good for them for persevering. Operation Mincemeat. They definitely won for supporting for Jack. What is his name, Blackie? Jack. I have my ballot here. Oh, I always do so poorly at these. Let me tell you how many I got wrong. Well, I got 11 wrong and 15 right. So I always print up a ballot whenever we're doing the Tonys. I maybe do it at the Oscars too, but I never care as much about the Oscars, and I work in the movie industry. But I'd much rather work in the theater industry, if anybody knows anybody. Jack Malone. Jack Malone won for best performance by an actor in a featured role in a musical. And you know what? When I was seeing that video of him singing Dear Bill that's circulating out there in the world, well, he's performed it in several places. I didn't realize that he was playing a female, Hester, when he's writing that, and that it's Hester's fake letter to put in the dead person's on his body when they shoot the, it's all about a dead body. It's sort of like a Weekend at Bernie's, but in World War II, and they're trying to stop the Nazis. It's a whole thing, but I guess it's based on a true story, and they have this body, and they shoot him out of the a torpedo thingy, and they have documents on him that will steer the Nazis into a different direction. They won't take over wherever. But there's also a fake love letter that Hester has written, but uses things from her life and her own pain to put in the fake letter. Isn't that clever? So they won for that. I need to get a tally of what shows, the number of awards that shows won. For a while, I was getting nervous, and no offense to Buena Vista Social Club. I'm sure it's a wonderful show, but I was there for maybe Happy Ending. And when at first in the Act 1 on Pluto TV of the Tonys, they did Act 1 with the awards like book and score, which I think should be on the main telecast, but oh well. And some of the more technical awards like sound design and lighting design. I was getting really nervous because Buena Vista Social Club kept winning. What did they win for? And I'm like, hey, they're beating some maybe Happy Endings. So I didn't want there to be an upset where they just swoop in and steal Best Musical. I had to have Maybe Happy Ending. I had to. And you would think that I wrote Maybe Happy Ending. I did not. But I am still single like Hugh Park kept saying. That was very funny. Oh, can we all talk about Cole Escola? They had on the most beautiful gown, and it was a salute to Bernadette Peters' Tony look from back when she was in Annie Get Your Gun, and I think she won that year, right? Let's see if we can find a picture. Hold on. Okay, I'm just obsessed with this. So here is Cole Escola in their gown at the Tonys last night. And what I think is marvelous. So Cole, hairy chest and everything, with the gown on, which I think it's fabulous. It's marvelous. You know, back in the olden days, people weren't allowed. I mean, they just didn't. They did not wear things like that. If they wanted to wear a gown and they weren't supposed to by society, they didn't. And of course, you always had flamboyant and extravagant dressers. But I think it's marvelous. It feels like the first time I remember someone wearing a gown, or it was when they were doing the South Park guys at the Oscars. Didn't a couple of the guys wear gowns? And I mean, it wasn't controversial. I don't think it was funny, but this was a tribute to Bernadette Peters. And now let's try and find Bernadette Peters' gown. So you look one more time to see if you think that Cole nailed the look. Gosh, I hope we have a Bernadette Peters picture. Hold on. Okay, here's a bit of it right here. Bernadette accepting the award. Did we not have full... Okay, yeah, this will do. I was going to say, did we not have full pictures of people in their gowns back in the day? So yes, I think that Cole pulled it off quite nicely. I can't tell if that one is Annie Get Your Gun's costume or Bernadette Peters' actual Tony gown. But I know that this one is, because there is Bernadette giving a speech. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Why doesn't his pictures fly by? I could have had a side-by-side of Cole and Bernadette. But I told you I don't know how to do that. I mean, I know that people do it. I just can't do it. I have a Google Chromebook for my computer at home. And you think they're going to let me edit anything? I have to go on it as a guest. Because one time I was watching, well, I don't want to say what kind of a website, but let's just say that my computer got not a virus, but an infection. And then I had to start logging on as a guest on the computer because the other side was frozen. So anyway, that's my story. What else? Oh, okay. Floyd Collins. Did I ever show you that Floyd Collins? Jeremy Jordan did such a good job in that song, and I think the lighting in some of these things when they were showing clips, I think it's beautiful. But I don't think I could see Floyd Collins, him getting stuck in that cave, and spoiler alert, I think he dies. I shouldn't have said that. Some people might want to go see the show and be like, hey, we thought he lived. Well, it's set back in what, the 20s, 30s? He'd be dead now anyway. Sorry. Poor Redwood. Of course, they already closed in May with Idina Menzel climbing that tree, but they certainly didn't get any Tony nominations. And same with The Last 5 Years, starring Nick Jonas. A musical masterpiece, says Bloomberg. I mean, The Last 5 Years is a hit, or was a hit, but this production of it is not considered beloved by a lot of people. Though they did find some nice quotes about it. But you can still see the last 5 years. It was always a limited engagement. It's through June 22nd. Oh, but I don't feel like I've talked about everything. Where's that Tony thing? Blackie had it. Harvey Fierstein, how marvelous was he getting that Lifetime Achievement Award? And Celia Keenan Bolger getting her award for her humanitarian efforts. And the In Memoriam, I could just cry. And Gavin Creel. And you know, one of our friends in my friend group, my friend Adam McDaniel, who did the cover of my book, The Unfortunates by C.A. Smythe, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary, I realized earlier today, and I've got to do an episode about that, because I never promote my own book. But anyway, Adam McDaniel, who did the cover of my book, The Unfortunates, let me show you the painting he did. Hold on. My bedroom is such a mess, so I try not to show you certain things. So here's the painting that Adam McDaniel did years ago, and it's the cover of my book. You can't really see it because of a picture of Marco and Michelle. But yes, so see, there's the cover of my book, The Unfortunates by C.A. Smythe. Well, anyway, this is a roundabout story, but you saw how messy my bedroom is. I'm so embarrassed. But so anyway, Adam's good friend is David Edward Byrd, the great graphic artist, and he did many posters and record albums, and he had passed away a few months ago, and on the Tonys they did include him in the In Memoriam section, and we were all delighted. Here is his Follies poster, and look, he even autographed it. And then of course I keep the Follies poster beneath that on the closet door. But so we were very happy that David Edward Byrd was included in the In Memoriam. It was very moving. The whole section with Sarah Bareilles and Cynthia Erivo singing. And look, okay, so my living room has some new Tony-nominated posters. Jonathan Groff's hit show, Just in Time. I feel like they didn't win anything, did they? Audra and Gypsy, that poster. Smash. Maybe Happy Ending. Boop. And Death Becomes Her. Boop. I love Boop. Can we talk about Boop? I'm really sad that Boop didn't get to perform at the Tonys. Now, I know they weren't nominated for Best Musical, and in the olden days, you would have to be. Oh, hold on while we are talking about posters really fast. I also had Dead Outlaw being represented in my living room, and I also had Swept Away being represented because they were up for an award. Was it Scenic Design? Well, they didn't win, but it's always an honor just to be nominated. But I am so sad about Boop not getting to perform, because I was listening to Boop music today at work, because you know the cast recording came out. If y'all are in the New York area and want to see a fun, not just a fun for the whole family show, but fun for people who don't have families like me. I mean, I have a family, of course, and Blackie Humphrey is my family, and my friends, and of course my family. But you know what I mean. You could bring your children to see Boop. You could bring the old grandparents, or just be a singleton going to see Boop. I'm worried that it's going to close soon, because I hope that they can carry on, at least through the summer. Wouldn't that be nice? But apparently the numbers aren't great. Oh, and I had a friend who, I think I told you, saw Smash the other night. Oh, well, he's the friend that called and that message that was upset about Nicole winning. But yeah, so he went to see Smash, and he said there were a lot of empty seats. So Smash, if you want to see a really funny show, go see that. Boop, if you want to see a show with the most amazing costumes, I really thought they could have won costumes, but Death Becomes Her, they did have very good costumes, so I'm happy for them. I think that's all they won for Paul Tazwell, for his costumes. Let me just scroll through the list to make sure I'm not forgetting something. I mean, I'm forgetting a lot of things, but I haven't talked too much about the plays. Purpose won for Best Play. I had picked Oh Mary on my little list, so I got that wrong. I didn't see very many plays. I saw the one play while I was there in New York, Oh Mary. Oh, and Sam Pinkleton won for that, for direction. And okay, so Sam Pinkleton, I feel badly because I gave a bad review on this show, It's Christmas Time, to his version of Head Over Heels at the Pasadena Playhouse. I just thought it was, it was very ambitious, and I probably should have not been so hard on it, but it wasn't my favorite. And then I saw that production of La Cage that Sam Pinkleton did at the Pasadena Playhouse, which I hated, and I felt terrible about it because I wanted to give a good review, but I just didn't like the costumes. I didn't like the scenic, anything about it. I didn't. Cheyenne Jackson, I liked Cheyenne Jackson. But Sam Pinkleton's direction of Oh Mary was mwah. It was subtle, but the flares and flourishes and over-the-topness that Sam likes to put in some of his other shows that I've seen, it was there, but it was more subdued. It was under the surface. It was like, of course, Mary is so over the top, Mary Todd Lincoln, that character, that the rest of it has to be subdued, like sets and costumes, and it just has to be, because Mary is just so over the top. But and it worked really well. I thought his direction was mwah, and I'm glad that he won. Anyway, that's all the time I have to talk about the Tonys. I really enjoyed them. I just wish Helen J. Shin had been nominated for Best Actress, Lead Actress, and I wish that Boop had performed at least. They were going to perform that number with the black and white and the color, the back. Watch this online if you can find it. They have color on one side and black and white on the other side, and they're turning and turning. Oh, it's amazing. And Jasmine Amy Rogers, oh, so good. So that's my recommendation on this day after Tony. Go see Boop before something happens. Okay, goodbye, everybody. I'll see you the next time it's Christmas time. Goodbye.